Hello and welcome back to Focus Atlanta. Thanks so much for continuing to watch. In this segment, we're going to talk a little bit about financial freedom. Isn't that what we're all seeking? I'm here with Dr. Paris Woods.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks so much for coming on the show. I think that we're all in the rat race to some extent, and we're working, but we haven't all completely prepared for the future. What are those first steps when you start thinking about your financial future?
I think the first step is actually to come up with a really clear vision. So often we're either in struggle mode or we're trying to make it to stability and we haven't set ourselves up for what we want to accomplish. What do we hope the future looks like? What's the thing that's going to motivate us to take those action steps? It's so rare for us to follow through when we feel like we're doing things because we should, or this is what the money experts tell us to do. And it's much more motivating when you have this exciting vision that you're working towards. So I would start there. What do you want? What ideally does life look like when you're financially free? What does that mean to you? And then we can build a plan to get you there.
Okay, I love the fact that you use the term financially free. What is financial freedom for many people? Is that, just being able to retire? Is that having enough money for some trips? Like, what does that look like for most people?
It is different for every single person. I will tell you, for me, it's having complete control over my labor and my time. I often think about, being my ancestors' wildest dreams and what might that have looked like. And so today I get to work on projects that are most exciting to me. And so leaning into financial freedom means getting to write books, getting to speak to young people, working on curriculum, and getting to spread the word about just how possible this really is. So that definition, I think, is a good place to start. Otherwise, you're going to be working on somebody else's definition and it may not even make you happy when you get there.
Okay. And to your point, is it ever too late to get started? Like, I think a lot of people, as you said, are in the throes of it. We're in the rat race. We're just going the day to day. Is it ever too late to go, oh my gosh, have I prepared? Where do I start?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. It's never too late. First of all, to take an honest look at your money. I think so many of us are kind of afraid and ignoring what the numbers look like. So it's never too late to open up that bank account, write down your numbers and get a sort of feel for where you are. And then we can make a game plan for where you want to be. Whether that looks like getting out of debt, it could look like building up some savings, or for those younger folks, we got to start investing because time is on your side. So those are all tools and strategies we can use if you're willing to just take the next step, and to work on your own personal definition. I think so often we get stuck because we're trying to become a billionaire, right? We're trying to become a real estate mogul. We're trying to do these things that someone else told us to do when your own vision might be much more accessible.
Is there a great starting point that's kind of for everybody? Everybody can't start with stocks, you know what I mean? But is there a good starting point for many people?
I think the big one is to start to save. So often it's those inevitable emergencies that pop up that we're not prepared for. And that's when everything sort of breaks loose and hits the fan. So even if you could start to put away $10, $20 a month, it will make a difference for when those emergencies come up, and you'll be in a much more peaceful and balanced place. And then from that place, we can start to create some more exciting goals. So I would say if you're wanting to save, we've got to automate it, set up direct deposit directly into a savings account, create a savings account at a totally different bank so you never even see it or attempted to get the money out of there. I think that's one of the most powerful habits we can build, and anyone can start that today.
Excellent. Well, then I can't let you get out of here without telling us where we can learn more. Where can we get the book? Where can we, get our feet and in the right direction, pointed in the right direction?
Yeah, so I just released the Student's Guide to Financial Freedom, which is for high school and college students to get them started on the right foot. And of course, my first best-selling book, The Black Girl's Guide to Financial Freedom, which is tailored for helping women get themselves sort of out of debt and earning what we should be earning, and saving and investing and all the things that we don't often get to talk about among just us women. So both of those books are available on Amazon and wherever books are sold, and folks can learn more at my website, pariswoods.com.
Dr. Woods, thank you so much for making time for us here in Atlanta. It was a pleasure to meet you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. All right, guys. I know when we say finances, people start, getting a little weird. It feels a little daunting, right? Everybody wants to do better, but none of us really know if we're on the right track. Well, sometimes you just need a little assistance. Please take the opportunity to visit the website, learn more, maybe get the book for you or your teenager. Both of you could have an option. Take the opportunity to learn more. Thanks so much for tuning into this segment of Focus Atlanta. We'll be right back.